8 Entrepreneurship Rules for Great Companies according to LinkedIn's founder. These are the entrepreneurship rules Hoffman has set for himself, ones upon which his success was built. Any entrepreneur would find them inspiring and truly valuable. Rule number 1, look for disruptive change. What is becoming possible or necessary that was not possible before? When Hoffman co-founded LinkedIn, the tech industry was in yawning decline. I looked at all the opportunities created by the internet and had the idea that eventually everyone would need a professional online profile. What was disruptive was that headhunters were able to reach the best candidates directly instead of waiting for responses from a newspaper or website ad. Rule number 2, aim high. It does not matter if a startup is aiming at a huge idea or a small one. To make it possible, it will require the same amount of effort and bravery. When defining big, entrepreneurs must envision how the product or service of their dreams can create or dominate a significant market. Rule number 3, create a network to amplify your company. People very often believe that behind every great startup there is an entrepreneur with a whiz-bang idea. The reality is that great companies are built with a number of talented people who are surrounded by networks that amplify them. The most successful entrepreneurs manage to bring advisors, investors, collaborators, and the first relationships with clients. Rule number 4, plan for good and bad luck. Entrepreneurs should always accept that they might have good and bad luck in equal measure. Good luck is not something simple like everything went well, rather, it is when a great opportunity is discovered and they can quickly change to go after it. Bad luck is what happens when your first idea doesn't work. This does not mean outright failure, but it does mean that they must follow Plan B. Rule number 5, keep flexible persistence. Many entrepreneurs are given incompatible advice: be persistent, stay committed to your vision, or pivot on key data. Know when to change. What is difficult is to follow both tips, but to know which is the most appropriate for each situation you must know how to maintain flexible persistence. Rule number 6, release early enough that you're embarrassed by the first version of your product. It took Hoffman 9 months to launch SocialNet's first product, which was, according to Hoffman himself, a disastrous mistake. He wanted to have all the specific functionality straight away, including social controls so users could choose whether or not to connect with others. Rule number 7, vacuum, but don't drink your own Kool-Aid. Entrepreneurs should strive for excellence but be very careful about blind trust or blind belief in their own principles. It is essential to launch a product or service as quickly as possible in order to learn how customers use them. It is equally important to identify indicators that will tell people if the product vision is hitting the mark. You must also get feedback from your network in order to iterate or pivot on the goal, product, and/or service. In simple terms, people must keep aiming at excellent, but they should always also maintain things in perspective to know how they are doing. It is not difficult for creative innovators to blindly believe their own story instead of learning where to aim or go. Rule number 8, having a good product is important, but great product distribution is more important. I meet a lot of entrepreneurs who think that the best product is the most important thing and that the best product should always win. What many people don't realize is that without great distribution, the product dies. How are you going to get your product into the hands of millions or hundreds of millions of people?